friends. This is something that I have been taught to do because I have really been not doing well lately, I guess, on the live. So it hasn't looked good. So I'm trying to be better and find myself on my page to make sure that everything is going as it is intended, and I literally can't find it. So, but I did find a nice memory of my son, who's a missionary. So, yeah. And Casey Brown's daughter. So, all right, I can't find it. We'll leave it alone. Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me here today. Looks like we got a few folks on, and let's see, who is that one? Does it say? It tells me somewhere who's here and who is it. Oh dear. Oh my, that's not what you wanted to do, is it? So anyway, we will get back. Oh dear. Now it's going to put me live over here. Off with you. Done. Okay, good. Well, this is actually a good start for the topic today. So before we get started, let's jump in with a little intro, and then we'll get right to the topic of the day. Well, folks, thanks for joining me today. I have lost, there used to be like a little screen here that would tell me who was watching, and I can't really find it right now, and it was really cool. So I don't know really where it is. So anyway, so sorry about that for those joining. Anyway, good to have you with us today. Let's see, is that? I know it was something, but anyway. Thanks for being here today. As I mentioned in the, oh dear, I don't want to lean on the keyboard either. I'm going to just set the keyboard away. There we go, folks, yeah. All right, thanks for joining me today. So the title of today's show is Laugh. And then at one point I've had parentheses at yourself. And then other times I had just laugh at yourself. So it's gone through a variety of iterations, but first and foremost, it's about laughing. It's about laughing at yourself, and it's about laughing in your business, and it's about the benefits of laughing. So first, let's go ahead and bring in Buddy, who, oh, you know what? That's not very fun. Let's make that bigger. There you go. So yeah, there's the emojis for the day. There's Buddy, our good friend, my little black couch, who has been with me for over 20 years now. I bought this little sucker off an entrepreneur who was retiring after, man, like 30 or 40 years or something. So this little couch has been, I don't even like to think about where it's been. But for me, it's been right here for the last 20 years. In fact, the guy I bought it off of was pretty questionable. Wow. I really probably should have thought of that. Yuck. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll... Geez. Hey, honey, if you're watching, could you bring me some like sanitizer or something? We'll take care of the couch because I'm a little freaked out right now. All right, everybody. So learning to laugh at yourself is something that's very important, not only in business, but in life. And I have always taken it for granted. For any of you that have watched this show, realize that I make an uncommon number of mistakes. And that's okay. You know, my whole life is one mistake after another, and I'm good with that. I don't pretend to be perfect. I never will be perfect. And frankly, it sounds kind of boring to always not, you know, some of the most entertaining and good times in my life have been based off some sort of boneheaded thing I've done. Not trying to hurt anybody or do anything. I've just, you know, usually said something stupid or done something stupid, and then, you know, a bunch of us were laughing together, and we couldn't stop laughing because it was just so moronic. It was awesome, right? So first and foremost, I have always enjoyed laughing at myself, but I kind of came across this weird TED Talk yesterday, and I was looking at it, and Um, my wife just sent me a nice little text. It's your photo, and if you like it, send it. That's exactly right. So I have this photo of myself that, so I finished writing this chapter for a book, and we're supposed to turn in a photo of ourselves. And you know, I always use that photo with my hat on, and it's somewhat informal, and some people think that I should be like in some kind of shirt and tie. And I think shirt and ties are, see, how do I put this? Horrible. I hate them. I hate shirts and ties. I hate suits. I think the whole thing's a disaster, and I feel like that it's some evil ploy, probably from some other planet, and they just sit up there and laugh at us for wearing these ridiculous suits. So I am not wearing a suit today, nor will I ever wear a suit except on Sunday, or maybe to a funeral. I really had, even to a wedding. I mean, geez, what? Who decided those look good? Now, my wife believes they look good. I disagree with her. I feel like complete, no good for suits. Anyway, beside the point, I can't even laugh at myself in a suit. So maybe that's the problem. So I don't like suits. Anyway, I had this photo, and it's not of me with a hat. It's a very serious sort of photo, and it's kind of black and white. And my daughter and my wife think that I look like a mass murderer, of which I am not. So that's an inaccurate portrayal of who I am. But I think that it's fine, and I don't have a hat on. So for a book, it seems like it would be acceptable. Anyway, so that's where that comes from. But anyway, getting back to laughing at ourselves, I watched this TED Talk, and I was really fascinated because they went into like the psychology of it, and they talked about that laughing at ourselves is not something that we do naturally, nor do we enjoy it. And I found that to be really hard to understand, because I have always enjoyed a good laugh at myself. I think that I mean, maybe that's arrogant. I don't know, but I you know, geez, I get a good chuckle out of myself all day, every day, with some of the things I think and some of the stuff I do. And for example, today is what I call a 3-drink day. It was actually a four drink day at one time. So when I get busy and involved in things, I get somewhat absent-minded and forget where I'm at, where I am, and what I'm doing. I'm just kind of focused on the work and typing, you know, and going and getting my stuff done. And then somewhere along the line, you get thirsty. So I'll get up, and I've got a little fridge on the other side of the wall right there, and I'll go pull out a drink and bring it in here. I'll pop it, and I'll start drinking, and then I'll realize, oh, I already had a drink open. So at some point today, well, this one's open, this one's not. So this is a Diet Mountain Dew, not open yet. I had 2 Pepsi Zero Sugars open at one point, and then this is full of water. So I became a little absent-minded today. So it's a 4-drink day. So, well, that's something I'll have a good chuckle at. You know, big deal. I go stick the drink back in. It's cold by tomorrow. Who cares? But those are the sorts of dumb things that I do all day long, and I enjoy them. I have a good chuckle at them. But this TED Talk was so interesting because apparently there is a great majority of our population that does not like to laugh at themselves, and they take themselves very seriously. You probably have some of those people in your own life. I know a few in my own life, and they're the ones, you can tell them pretty easily, right? Because when you start to kind of joke with them, the ones that kind of can take a joke or whatever will just sort of blow you off and give it right back or whatever. And the ones that can't get a little uncomfortable, and you see sort of their faces start to flush a little bit, and they get a little angry, and you realize, oh boy, I better back off, because you know, unless you're sure you can beat them up, right? And then you can just continue on with it if you want. But no, please, no fighting. No fighting anywhere near the little black couch, please. So anyway, some of the benefits then of learning to laugh, and this TED Talk literally was about how we can go about taking steps to learn to laugh at ourselves. And I thought it was quite amazing that people were actually trying to learn how to do this. So I wanted to jump in. First off, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the benefits this TED Talk said can come from learning to laugh at ourselves. So I've taken some notes. And the red pen means nothing. It's just the one I could grab. It's So, yeah. Anyway. So, don't look at those other notes. That's not for public consumption. I don't even know what they say. Oh, time precious. Yeah, good. Okay, so some of the benefits that come from laughing at yourself. Less stress. That's right there, number one. So you can release stress by laughing. And if it's at yourself, you're always with yourself, that's a great opportunity to laugh a lot, right? So that's one, less stress. Two, it actually builds up your immune system where you can overcome different sicknesses and things because you're healthier. How about that? Boost your immune system. So laughing at yourself boosts your immune system. So that's number two. Number three, it gives you more resilience to overcome problems in your life and overcome weaknesses. What's wrong with that? Okay, so now we've got less stress, boost your immune system, more resilience to overcome problems and weaknesses. How about this one? A higher pain threshold. Hey, as an entrepreneur, that sounds pretty good, right? Sometimes we've got some big nightmares that swirl around us. Having a higher pain threshold sounds pretty great. This kind of made me think too. Have you ever seen those movies like where one of the stars gets sort of picked up? And I'm trying to think, was it Casino Royale? I guess the 007 one when he gets kind of picked up. I don't want anybody to think about that. Let's not think about that. I had another example of it. Oh, MacGyver. So the new MacGyver, I know everybody thought it's pretty cheesy, but hey, there's not a lot bad in that show, so it's been somewhat interesting. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not good at the names of people in the shows, but the big hunky guy that used to be in CSI, right? That protects them, and he's the big guy, and apparently my same age. But anyway, so he gets picked up by somebody, and he's being tortured, and he's kind of joking and laughing, right? And so anytime anybody's like held up and tortured, anytime they laugh and make jokes and stuff, I always find that to be extra funny. And it turns out that I don't think the writers probably know this. They're just trying to, but you've increased this actor's pain threshold in case something goes wrong. So that's interesting there in the movie biz. So I don't even know if the stunt doubles know that or anything, but yeah, higher pain threshold if you can learn to laugh at yourself. So that's pretty great. So better short-term memory. So hey, I should have a great short-term memory then too. If it's about laughing at yourself, this is good. And then a healthier heart. Hey, we all know that that's pretty good. I've had both grandpas died of heart attacks, so maybe. Sorry, family listening. I didn't mean to bring that up, but one was really jovial. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they left it themselves. But anyway, so there's 6 right there. Less stress, more resilience boost your immune system, more resilience to overcome problems and weaknesses, higher pain threshold, better short-term memory, and a healthier heart. Wow, right? Pretty great stuff. And then it said here, one of the last things that they went into towards the end of the TED Talk was that we needed to learn to celebrate mistakes. And that, it's very similar to some of this effort, not outcome stuff that I research and hang out as far as talking about. And that's exactly what the chapter in this book is about as well. It's like making sure that we're focusing our attention on the things that actually matter, the things that have action, and we're not waiting for something to come out and just to go about it that way. So, question coming in from a business associate. We can take care of that in a couple minutes. So, Michael will be with you in just a minute. Okay, so some of the things that I have learned, I thought about this. So after getting done and knowing that I was going to go live and we are going to talk about this today on the show, I wanted to think about why it was easy for me, why I never even considered that laughing at oneself could be a problem. And I think one of the big issues is sometimes when we're insecure, when we're not really comfortable with who we are, then that can be a big cause of feeling a little too serious when things go wrong in your life. And somehow or another, you equate things going wrong in your life or mistakes or failures as affecting your value somehow. And I can see why that would cause somebody to be a little freaked out right? When they make a mistake. Like if your value, your personal value and how you see yourself, your self-esteem takes a hit every time you make a mistake or something goes wrong, then yes, I could see where that would be a problem. And that could cause someone to be a little overly sensitive to laughing at oneself, okay? That makes complete sense to me. So in that particular case, and one thing that I think is so important, especially working with youth groups, that we need to understand, really get a good understanding that all of us are invaluable as people. That there is no way for us to be less valuable. That there is an innate goodness and worth in each one of us who live and breathe. And it doesn't matter where we live or what we do for a living. It doesn't matter our talents or our weaknesses. It doesn't matter how many degrees we have or don't have. It doesn't matter what language we speak. It doesn't matter where we live. None of it has any sort of effect on what our intrinsic value is. That is just priceless, and that is given, and nobody can change that. So getting to a point where you feel that way is so important. Especially when you're considering how in the world you can laugh at yourself. Obviously, if you have really great self-esteem and what happens in your life, the circumstances of your life doesn't affect your value, then laughing at yourself becomes something that is fine, right? It doesn't change how you feel about yourself. It doesn't change how you think other people occur for them. It just doesn't matter to you anymore. And I think that that's a very important thing. So one of the things that I wanted to get across in today's little live is that everybody needs to understand, and I'm happy to talk to anybody about this. I love to talk about this, that everybody needs to understand that you are unique and have talents and strengths and abilities that are unique to you. And there's nothing anybody else can do, and there's no circumstance that you can be in that lessens the value that you have intrinsically. You are just a valuable, priceless individual, period. And that is so important to get through our heads. It's so important to have through our heads just to live, in a more peaceful, happy state. But it's so important to get into our heads so we can be really successful and helpful entrepreneurs. I can't think how you can get through some of the difficult times as an entrepreneur trying to learn new things and create new things and stay focused and wear all these different hats if you just don't have any real sense of how valuable you are. That becomes super difficult. And then I actually did like this. In this TED Talks, they talked about practicing laughing at yourself. So thinking back through your life, taking your journal, doing something like that, and going through some of the boneheaded mistakes you've made, and we've all made a gazillion of them. I was actually thinking about doing listing on screen, just the ones that I've made today, so we could all have a good chuckle. But I ran out of room, right? So we're going to continue moving on. But that's such an important part. So take a look at some of those things that you have done in your life that maybe you weren't really excited about. I don't know if it was a bike wreck or you said something silly from the stage or you tripped over your foot, made fun of your mother-in-law in a very unhelpful way, which I've never done. But, excuse me. I get thirsty when I lie. No, I've never done that. So, anyway, apparently I coughed too. So remember back and go through some of the experiences where you've made some kind of mistake and think about it. Think about people knowing about it and see how you feel. And then address how you feel as, you know what? And literally say this out loud. And this is what they suggested. And I completely agree with this because this works wonderfully well for so many different things in life. But think about it and see if that can bring up, I don't know what it is, shame or embarrassment or whatever feeling it is. And then say to yourself, I don't want to feel that way. Okay? And then think of something else and bring it up and say, I don't want to think that way. right? That's one way to stop it, to get it stopped, so you stop feeling embarrassed and all that. I think a better way of doing it, and again, I'm going to kind of break off a little bit from what this individual said in the TED Talk, but I believe that you take it a step further and you say, think about the embarrassing moment, think about how you feel, and then say, I want to laugh about that. I want to think that's funny. And practice thinking about things that you do and make sure that they become funny for you. So next time something similar happens, you can just laugh at it. You have learned and taught yourself how to laugh at some of the dumb stuff we do. But folks, I can promise you, everybody has made mistakes. Everybody, we all know it. It's really silly for me to even say it. We all know it, but we need to learn to laugh at ourselves to be healthier. I don't want, if I have to review these, I will. No. Better health, less stress, a better immune system. Let's learn to laugh at ourselves. And yeah, that will be helpful for sure. So to help everybody do that, I'm going to now that make anybody uncomfortable? Not me. I'm good with it, right? Hey, I didn't know what to say, didn't say anything. So whatever it is, please laugh at yourself, learn to laugh at yourself. It's a much better way to live, I can promise you. The dumb things we do are part of the flavor of life. It makes life totally fun, totally interesting. Enjoy it. Enjoy being human. Enjoy just being who you are and the stuff that you do wrong. Learn to be happy just being you, and all your idiosyncrasies are fantastic. They make you unique. They make us all interesting. And what else are we going to talk about when we hang out? That's always the funniest stuff, right? The embarrassing moments come up a ton. So learn to have the very best in the group, and life will be much better for you. Thanks for joining me today. I guess we could have called that a life hack, but we didn't. I want everybody to feel great like this. You know what? Honestly, go get a screen that just does that for you. I pull that up and look at it every once in a while. It's good stuff. I mean, that's funny stuff right there. Pick up some of your favorite moments, and that's good stuff. And please remember,
we just want you to know,
as a mate,
you're amazing.
you're the bomb.com, bro. Thank you so much.
That clarity.
you really are the bomb.com. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, Aaron Stewart from the Little Black Couch, where we help entrepreneurs learn to develop wonderful, passionate business ideas and do it and get their business going in a way that doesn't make them miserable, but teaches them how to be happy in the process, so they do not sit around waiting for some great thing to happen in the future when they could have just been enjoying it the whole entire time. Thanks.